Good evening, good evening, bonsoir, buenas noches, buenas noches to investors in North and South America. 我係個 investor， 안녕하세요， 各位早，各位早晨。Good morning to investors in Asia. Buenas noches, buenas noches, good night, good night to investors in Europe and Africa. I'm Daniel, you speaking from Hong Kong. It's 14th August here and 13th August in Wall Street. This week, I have three main points to talk about. Number one, the effect of CPI and PPI. Number two, world economic outlook of IMF. Number three, technology ban on China, and finally, future trend of the market. Subscribe, like, and share. Remember to click the bell, please. Watch our playlist again so as to grasp the continuous trend of the market and refresh your mind. The CPI, which topped at 9.1% in June 2022 and started to fall, but the announcement last Thursday had its first rebound since the top. Market expectation was that it would go up from 3.0% to 3.3%, which is a rise of 3 points. Ultimately, it was announced at 3.2%, which is better than expectation and was considered as good news. For the 3.3% made the market worry for a week, and stock indices went down in fear of rate hikes. But mind that the core inflation rate went down from 4.8% to 4.7%, and market expectation was at 4.8%. It's better than expectation, and next time it's expected to go down to 4.7%. For details of this inflation cycle in relation to Dow Jones, please refer to video 10 at 2022-1219. As for PPI of last Friday, it rose from 0.2% to 0.8%, while market expectation was 0.7%, but the fear on inflation was not so clear. For the core PPI kept unchanged at 2.4%, and expected next time will go down to 2.3%. It's very important to mind that interval of FOMC meeting is the longest, August and September, which is 8 weeks and not 6 weeks. Therefore, all important indicators will be announced twice, including CPI, PPI, GDP, ADP, PCE, and Employment Report. So don't make the conclusion so early. The effect of the next meeting will be more than this meeting. By the way, do not forget the annual Fed meeting in Jackson Hole from August 24 to 26. The theme is structural shifts in global economy. This rate hike cycle started in March 2022, and in just 16 months, the interest rate soared up from 0.00 to 0.25% to 5.25 to 5.50%. It's the steepest and fastest ever in history. Normally, when the rate hike cycle starts, after 18 to 24 months, it's quite easy to bring about a recession. But now the chance of recession is not so great, simply because the recovery from pandemic is also very fast, except in China. Western countries are annoyed by inflation and China is in deflation. Let's take a look at the global economy. The growth of 2022 to 2023 to 2024 is 3.5%, 3.0%, 3.0%, which means no recession at all. And if we take a look at the US, these 3 years are 2.1%, 1.8%, and 1.0%, which means next year will slow down only but not recession. Mind that for emerging economies, the growth rate of India already surpassed China long ago. But if China wants to be the second largest economy of the world and replace China, it has to wait until 2050. This report was released in late July, and I should have talked about in early August. But last week I postponed it because I just want to see the announcement of CPI. In the financial market, news must be fast and accurate. Our news is the fastest and sometimes even faster than White House. On Monday, I released news in the Telegram group that Joe Biden was going to issue an administrative order to ban all sensitive technology that China may use to develop weapons to fight against the US in the future. The White House announced such a news 2 days later. I don't have a girlfriend to work in White House to collect information for me, and I do not know the typist who types the news. But anyway, when the news is so comprehensive and widely affected, some clues can be traced beforehand. Please subscribe to our daily report, the US Stock Express, freely, so that you can join our Telegram group and get the fastest news. Even if it may happen just once or twice a year, but if it is the most important event, it's worthwhile. We also have electronic handouts and a series of 40 teaching videos which are specially designed for self-study, so that they have certain tests and questions to think about as homework. Please contact Professor Vitali for details. By the way, any sponsor for our video, daily report, or seminars are welcomed. As for the sanction of Biden to China, the three major sectors are chips, quantum computer, or some people call it supercomputer, and then AI intelligence. For those technologies superficially are for civil usages, they easily transfer to military usage to fight against US. For they have learned a lesson from the Russian-Ukraine conflict that Russia even dismantled chips from household appliances like refrigerator or rice cookers when supply of chips are banned. Mind that this order actually is the stage 2 of the ban on October 7, 2022 of semiconductors. It was caused by the Comet Halley and Orion meteor shower of that period, and the effect is still running until the Comet A3 of October 2024 draws near the Earth. The plan of Joe Biden is to de-risk China first and decouple later, so he will do it step by step. This is just stage 2. We do not know when he will launch out stage 3. Please be noted that the current order has a grace period of 1 year. That is, this year, Chinese companies still have the right to import chips such as Baidu, ByteDance, Tencent, Alibaba have ordered chips worth $5 billion from NVDA and delivered before the ban officially starts for use of AI purpose. Senior Senator Marco Rubio complained that this order is too weak, for it had not included the sector of biomedicine and environmental protection and climate change, which are urgent matters. But some people are afraid if the steps are too fast, it will hurt the economy. Of course, China said they will make up their mind to develop such high technologies on their own, but from the current situation, they may need 2 decades to complete the plan. And in this period, US should have another big leap in technology, which China needs more than another 2 decades to chase up. This plan is supported by the West either totally or partially. Why the US and China are on the way to de-risk and then decouple? It is based on the Thucydides trap that they are preparing for war. Therefore, Tesla is going to establish a gigafactory in Canada, and TSMC is going to develop a factory in Germany. For if they continue to run factories in China, it is quite easy for those staff, no matter high rent or low rent, to copy the procedures and establish another local factory of lower cost and manpower for competition. These are known as transfer of intellectual property visibly, and of course, there are some other invisible values. So we must watch closely how the trend develops. This order is different from previous orders that Hong Kong and Macau are also included as part of China and not as an independent custom area as before. Why? Not just because of the startup of Donald Trump, but because they learned from the Russian-Ukraine conflict that some sanctioned items are transferred from Hong Kong to Russia. Why October 7, 2022 is important? For people compare with the ban of petroleum against Japan in 1939, that it ultimately led to the Pacific War of World War II, an attack on Pearl Harbor, which magnified the World War from Europe to Asia. Is it too exaggerated or too much worries? So we have to watch what is going to happen next. If Russian-Ukraine conflict would not lead to World War III, as I have explained in video 30 at 2022-0508, we also need to keep normal and evaluate the Thucydides trap, whether the chance is great or small. For market outlook, adjustment is on the way. The QT policy continue and rise of petroleum price and the cut of supply in 2024 may make the current adjustment lower. Let's see the Magnificent 7. The 7-day heat map chart shows 6 of them are in red and only Google is in green. So there will be no stock recommendations this week. But the audience can refer to previous videos. The Golden Dragon China Index is falling. For 3 major indices, Nasdaq is still the leader of the market. After penetrating the baseline of M shape, there's a depth cross of 10 SMA, crossing 20 SMA, and now even drop under the 50 SMA. Best buying level will be around 13340. Dow Jones is forming a ranging area on the top, which is the strongest among the 3 indices. Better wait for the level of 34630 to buy. S&P is extending the drop, but can try to buy at the level of 4400. Anyway, buying it should be little by little. However, still a lot of individual stocks are of high potential and can be bought at low. Remember, this is a long and slow bull market, and no need to worry. As a rule, the product introduction of iPhone 15 on September 15th normally will lead to a drop in Apple, which will affect the whole market. So keep calm and carry on. So again, subscribe, share and like. Please, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, bye bye, see you next week.